Good Wednesday evening. This is Dee, and this is Critical Break. It is July the 25th, 2018, and it is 7 p.m. straight up. um, I talked about the streams could be all over the place, and here's an example. I'm going to share with you kind of the process that happens when I'm researching um, and give you an update of what's been going on the last couple of days. Uh, it's actually been somewhat uneventful, um, but I can't say that either. A lot going on, but uh, let's see. I'm going to pull my chat up, and I know it was spur of the moment, so I don't expect a grand audience or anything, but let me see what we got going on. Okay. Find my chat. There we go. Find my chat. Yay! Hi, Sky. Great to see you. Okay, I'm gonna pop this out. Alrighty. Yay. Go team. I say that a lot. Okay. Glad you could catch it. What? It's probably 5 p.m. your time? At 7 p.m. Central Standard Time right now for me. Anyway, I was going to share with you all a couple of things that I'd left out. I talked about my RH negative adopted father, my RH negative little sister, and I forgot to talk about my RH negative grandparents of my adopted father. I've talked about them before, but I'll go over a little bit of that again. They were just like my own grandparents. They treated me and my older sister like we were theirs. We never once felt like we weren't. They were amazing. They were, I talked to my older sister about, the blood types and things the other day. And the thing that they were so amazing to us. They were absolutely angelic. It's the only way. That's what I told my sister. I said, they were angelic. Not even joking. My grandmother was the type to stick her fingers in the butter and then in the sugar dish and then lick our fingers. That's the kind of grandma we're talking about while she was cooking in the kitchen, making cookies or what have you. And Grandpa always would take us fishing and taught us how to clean fish. I mean, I was barely walking and I knew how to clean fish. And he was a beekeeper too. He have a big farm up in northern Missouri. But absolutely salt of the earth, angelic RH negatives. I believe they both were. Obviously, one or both were O negatives because my father and my sister are. So I thought, more pieces for the puzzle, but at least for my puzzle background wise. And then after Grandma died in that car wreck, Grandpa was devastated. We all were. And that was the first time I ever met her sister. I didn't even know she had a sister. Turns out an identical twin sister. And you talk about polar opposites. When I say grandma was angelic, that's no joke. And her sister was very much the opposite. More puzzle pieces, I suppose. But, and I talked about the incident that happened during my grandmother's funeral with her sister in a different video, so I won't go into that. But yeah, polar opposites. I wanted to share what happens with me. Remember, I've talked about how important synchronicity is and to follow those breadcrumbs. You know, you get left so many of them, and they totally kind of pass you by if you're not aware of what's happening. But I'll share that with you here in a second. The other thing, well, there's a couple of things. I want to make sure that I'm clear because words matter. And, I talked about the preachers that are good to see you. Good evening, Plasma. It's great to see you. The average everyday minister, preacher, they're doing it for the right reasons. Because they really want to help those in their communities. And then there's the others. I discussed that, I think, during the last video when I talked about how there's religious leaders that are just like the politicians and everything else that aren't doing it for the right reasons. They're doing it just like any other profession, doctors included, for notoriety, fame of some sort. Jet setting all over the place. And hobnobbing with the so-called elites. That's not what I call them. I call them the virus. I think everybody should start using that term because elite is not what they are. We need to call them for what they are. Because every time you say the word elite, words matter. When you say elite, it puts them above you. They are not. It's quite the opposite. Just like the polar opposites I just talked about with my grandmother and her sister, twin sister. Anyway, I just wanted to make that clear. So your average everyday community churches, they're trying to do what they're doing for the right reasons. Most of them. So keep that in mind. I'm speaking about, well, we all know the TV evangelist and things like that. Very ugly business, right? So anyway, as you all know, I don't watch TV. And I don't look at the news hardly ever, unless prompted to do so. By Gabriel, generally. That happened this morning. I was actually busy talking to some of the people in our chat room. And right before I was talking to them, I was prompted to check the news. So I went over and looked at the news. And I'm going to share screen so that you all can see the process that happened today. Let's see. I need to share screen. So let me do that. Alrighty. Okay, so this morning I pulled up Google News and, um, just scrolled through the top stories of the day. And I noticed this one, but did not click on it. It just, it did stand out to me somewhat, but not completely. Little did I know I would get led further down a path directly relating to this somehow. And I'm trying to figure out, I don't have all the pieces yet. I just know that I'm being led in my research as usual. This has been going on for a while now, a few years. So this is the process that happened. So this morning I was told to look at the news. So I look at the news, I see all these other things going on with shootings and floods and all kinds of course, government stuff all the time. Um, so, like I said, scrolling through, saw this, and I was like, okay. And I didn't see anything that I thought really stood out. So I ignored it. Pretty much went about my day. Then this evening, I'm sitting here. Well, the past couple of days, I keep getting led back to a particular YouTube channel. And the YouTube channel name is Enter the Stars, but not spelled exactly that way. Enter the 5T4RZ. And it's interesting because I use kind of a code when I type. And oftentimes I will use this very sort of code when I'm typing, especially usernames or things like that. So I keep getting led back to this guy's channel. And he's done a couple of videos at least. And shout out to him because he's doing great work. But he's done a couple of videos on this Mount Hermon in Israel. And that is supposedly been identified as the place that the angels fell when they were cast out of heaven. And the interesting thing is that this is also where there's several caves, the cave of Pan located on the map, and Israel's one of them, and at Mount Hermon. But when I was sitting here this evening, I laid down because after a doctor's appointment and allergy shots and being out in the heat in the sun, the wind was completely taken out of my sails. So I laid down, and when I got back up, this popped up on my screen. Greece is burning down here. I'm not sub to this channel, so I don't know why this popped up. It says it's recommended. So I popped it up and looked at the video, and it shows that these fires are east and northern, heading north of Athens. And I'm like, why did this pop up? Why, because I remembered it from this morning on the Google News about the wildfires. I didn't click the link and look at what was going on or anything. I just read the headline. And then this evening, this pops up. So, and like I said, over the past couple of days, that this letter here that I wrote on September 14th, 2016, about the cavern where the angels are, the ones that are in cages. This is the actual letter itself that I read to you guys. So you get to see the actual letter. Um, yeah, just things keep popping up on my radar thanks to Gabriel and guiding me and other things guiding me like this. Anyway, so as you can see, I added this to my watch later list. And this that I added was like yesterday or the day before. And now all of a sudden, all this is going on with Greece. Well, there just so happens to be. Now, I popped up the information on the Cave of Pan. Remember the being I've had dealings with, the horned being? Um, Remember, I showed the pictures that, there was Pan. I mean, there's lots of different names for the exact same being. So it's very confusing for all of us, including me. So, could, you know, I mean, you see where I'm going with this. Anyway, when I pop this up, it, there's a cave of Pan in Israel, Mount Hermon, specifically, and then there's one in Greece. And it just so happens that this cave is right in the area where the fires are currently burning. So see how I'm being led in my research? Um, I'm not sure where this is going to take me, but I'm going to keep following whatever leads I'm being given. And anyway, interesting, right? Connecting dots. So I don't know what's going on here exactly. It's like I was told things are going to get a whole lot better. But I don't know if this has anything to do with that. I have no idea. I just know that I'm following the dots, connecting them, and following where I'm being led. But it was interesting that this video here was put up as something for me to look at. And the channel name's Hedgehog. I'm not subscribed, see? And it's talking about the fires and where it's happening. There's Athens, there's Attica, and that's where the Cave of Pan is. I don't know what's going on exactly, but yeah, not sure what it's all about. I guess we'll figure that out. Anyway, I just wanted to do a quick live event today and show you all how I get led on information I get. Good evening to all of you. Good evening, Miss Angel, Sir Steve. It's really great to see all of you. Anyway, I kind of wanted to give you an idea of my research in action. It's every day. There's not one day that goes by that there isn't something. And the fact that this kept popping up all day long, and the past couple of days, the place there in Israel, Mount Hermon, kept popping up too. So I just wanted to make sure you all knew what was going on. Because like I said, things are not happening on a schedule. So I might go live any time of the day or night. Look, you see my hair being weird right here? I just got up from laying down. I haven't even brushed my hair. Anyway, any questions or anything? I mean, do you guys get guided like that at all? Interesting synchronicities that happen. Like I said, follow those breadcrumbs. You never know where they're going to lead. And like I said, I don't know where this is leading exactly, but there's some pretty huge similarities happening. Sound is out of sync with the video. I'm sorry. My internet is 1.5 upload speed, so that could possibly be creating that lag. Anyway, I just wanted to do a short video, and like I said, this will probably happen sporadically all the time. There's a lot going on, and so keep you guys up to date on what I am witnessing and what I'm seeing. But I'll read the chat real quick. Oh, so my sky, you've seen the news on this fire in Greece, and you say you're not buying into the directed energy weapon being used to cause the fire. Surely if they were going to use the new weapons on the state, would take it in a city or somewhere where it would make substantial casualties. I don't know. I hadn't heard any takes on these fires. I'm not sure what's going on there. Like I said, I just glanced at the news, and it was merely because I was prompted to this morning. I never, look at it generally unless prompted to do so. And, the telepathy thing. And I, looked at it and didn't think anything of it, this morning when I first saw it. And then all this other started going bing, 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 bing. It's almost like, a slot machine lining up the numbers. That's what it kind of feels like. So that's the process that happens. And I wanted to share you guys. You get clues all the time, Sir Steve? Numbers, songs, phrases, yeah. By the way, I got 1111, as all of you that are in the private chat know. This morning, I got 1111, got out of the shower, was getting ready for my doctor's appointment, came in here after I got dressed and everything, looked through the clock, and I'm like, ding, 1111 pops up. I'm like, oh, here we go again. That's happening a lot. A lot. But yes, it's a gut feeling. Yeah. Yeah. Gotta listen to that inner speak, because some of that isn't just you talking to yourself. Sometimes it's your people guiding you. And it comes in, it almost is, it's similar to your inner chatter when you're talking to yourself. It's similar to that. Not exact, but similar. You hear music, messages through music too. Yep. 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 Indeed. And it's really odd how the certain song will pop up at a certain time, right? But anyway, I hope all of you are doing really well this week. Things are going to get a whole bunch better. And as the ones that are newly awakening become more awake and do their inner child work, which I'm going to do a video. I won't do it live stream because you guys distract me too much. Gotta have fun and talk to peeps. Um, but I was going to do a video on connecting with yourself, your true self, your innocence. And basically, it's like the song Enigma did, Return to Innocence. That's exactly what this is. So, good evening, Miss Tammy. Good to have you here. Thanks for joining us. You see 1111 all the time? Yeah, I'm getting it constantly. I got it today. I'm getting it every day. And it's, you know, when it's happening to you because it gets really freaky. You're actually kind of freaked out by it. It's like, really? Okay, here we go again with 1111, right? But anyway, I just thought I'd check in and show you guys my process. If I get more breadcrumbs concerning this whole thing with Greece and the Cave of Pan, I'll let you know. And shout out to those YouTube channels that I just used as a method to help show you guys what was happening. And Enter the Stars channel. He's got a lot of good insights. You might check him out if you haven't yet. And Hedgehog, like I said, I'm not even subbed to that channel. I don't know why it came up recommended. It's just another breadcrumb as far as I'm concerned. But I hope you all have a brilliant evening and the rest of the week. And I'll try to make sure and see you on Sunday morning, as usual, 10 a.m. Central. And if any more, like I said, what's going on is not on a schedule. So you'll get some more of these little shorts, okay? Anyway, I love you guys. Remember, you're infinite beings, and everything's going to get a whole bunch better. Anyway, talk to you soon. Have a good night. Bye.